Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through each of the ABRSM Theory Grades. There are lots of resources available to help you if you go to my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets and you can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find information about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of hints and tips on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time on exam day when you're actually working through your exam paper. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more to come. And now we're going to continue with the specimen paper, and so that's the last paper in the Grade 3 2014 workbook, and we're going to look at questions 6 and 7. So if you turn with me to page 15, we can make a start on those. And so question 6 asks us to name these letter names, and we need to just be careful which clef we're in, and then we're going to have a bit of an issue with all of these ledger lines. There's two different ways you can go about this, and you might find a combination of them both to help you. You can either count from a point that you're familiar with, so we know in the treble clef the lines are every good boy deserves football, or whatever little system helps you to remember those. So we know this top line is F. So if we count from F, line, space, F, G, A, B. We know that's a B, and then of course it's a B flat. Alternatively, if it's like just a little bit too far out or we don't think that's going to help us, what we can do instead is count an octave down. So if we count this given note as 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 takes us to the line. Don't forget space line, and so we know that's every good boy. We know that's a B flat, an octave higher than here. So I think we'll use that one here because that's quite a way to count down from this bottom G. So instead we'll count up the octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it takes us precisely to this G. Good boys deserve football, so that's a G. It's a low G sharp. Now I'm going to write the word sharp out in full as they've done, so here I shall do here. So let's look at this next one. Now here we can count from middle C. That's a convenient place to start. Middle C, D, E, F. That tells us that this is note F. Alternatively, we can count down the octave. 1 on the given note, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 takes us to this line here. And we know the bass clef, good boys deserve football. There we go. So this next one in the treble clef, we can either count backwards from middle C, C, B, A, G, or we can count up an octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 takes us to here. Every good boy, so every good G, we know that it's G an octave lower. There we go. I think we'll count backwards from the G that we figured out here. G, F, E, that's an E flat, so I'll write that out in full as they've done. And then here, if we know it goes every good boy deserves football, F, G, A, B, C sharp. Let's count that the octave just to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 takes us to this space here. And we know the spaces in the treble clef spell face, F-A-C-E. There's our C sharp. There we go, so that's soon done. Just have to take it to steady, and there's your 10 marks. Let's look at the next question. So these questions where we're having to correctly beam notes seem a little bit overwhelming at first. However, you've just got to think in an organised manner and just think each beat has to be reflected in the way we beam. The same principle applies when we're adding rests as well. So we need to show where each crotchet or quarter note beat falls. So before we do any writing at all, I'm just going to look and mark out each quarter note or crotchet beat. So we have a quaver and a quaver, 2/8 notes give us a crotchet, there's beat 1. Now here, this is where the maths gets a little bit tricky, and so I have to visualise that. Maths is not my strong point. So here we have a quaver or a half a beat, an 1/8 note, so there's half of our beat. And then the dot is half of that again. And then these two are actually 2/8 of a beat. And so there's that one, and that shows us we've got the whole beat. So there we have a whole crotchet beat. We also know that two semiquavers, demi-semiquavers, are the same as a semiquaver. So we can just think about it that way. We've got 3/4 and a quarter there. So there's beat 1, there's beat 2. 2 quavers give us beat 3. So we have the same job to do in this next bar. We've got a quaver, which is half a beat, and then 2 semiquavers give us the next half of a beat. So there's a crotchet beat or a quarter note. We have the same maths here. We've already done the thinking for this. We have 3/4 a beat, and then these 2 demi-semis give us our remaining quarter of a beat. 2 halves remaining. We've done the maths for this, but in a reverse order here. 2/4 give us a half of a beat. There's our remaining half. There's our crotchet beat. Now don't forget, rests must still count, so you can't just think, oh, half a beat and 2/4 and miss this out. This is the beginning of beat 2, and here's the second half of beat 2, and so that bit will have to stay on its own because it belongs to this second beat here. And then that nicely leaves us 4 semiquavers, 4/4 of a beat to show us our new beat. So we can see beat 1, beat 2, beat 3. So it's always tidying up to reflect each crotchet or quarter note beat. Last bar, so 2/4 give us a half a beat, and there's our remaining half. There's beat 1, there's beat 2, there's beat 3. So we've done the thinking. Now I'm going to just do the note heads. I'm just going to get the blobs in first, because we're going to have to make some decisions about how to put the stems, because when we're beaming them together, we're going to have to change the direction of some of these stems. So I'm keeping everything aligned, and I'm just getting the blobs in the right place just now. I'm keeping everything aligned. That way I know I'm not going to get lost. I know exactly where I am, and I'm not going to miss anything. And also I know that everything's properly spaced, and I'm not going to run out of room at the end of the bar. So as close as I can, I'm keeping it aligned to theirs. So we're getting there. Need a sharp sign, rest, accidentals, 2. Everything that doesn't require any thought, I'm just getting down in one go, and then my brain's free to think about any decisions that will need to be made regarding stems. So then, we know that these two need beaming together, so we're going to have to decide which way to put these stems. Now, this one is above the middle line, so the stem comes down. This one is below the middle line, so the stem's going up. However, we need to join them, so one of them's going to have to change. This one is only 1 step away, and so that one's nearest to the middle line. This one is further away, so this one wins the vote. So now we'll carry on. So these need to go together. These can all nicely have stems coming down. They're all above the middle line, and so I'm going to join those together, and then we can make those demi-semis. Again, these can both come down, so that's a nice easy decision. Oops, got a bit carried away there. These can all come down. There we go. These can all come down. No tricky decisions here. Oh, missed one. There we go. These can both come down. So all coming together quite nicely. These can come down. By all means, use a ruler. we go. So this one has to be on its own, and then that nicely shows this last bit of the bar is all beamed together. Now here we're going to have to do a bit of compromise. So these two should come down, this one comes up. Now this one is right next door, that's only one step away from going either way. These are further away, so this one is outvoted and must go to join these other two. There we go. So that's that question completed. There we go, that was not too bad. I do hope this is helpful to you. We'll look at the next question, the last question in the next video. If you can give me a like, that would be super. I do hope it's helping your studies. If you can give me a like and subscribe to my channel to keep updated, that would be really fab. Please do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's there to help you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.